I dropped out of college to start this company. I was enjoying running my business more than I was enjoying being in college. We'd raised $19 million in venture capital until very recently. We offer our customers a business checking account, a business savings account, and a very high cashback corporate credit card.
I have Victor Cardenas from Slash with me today here at Affiliate Summit. Thanks for joining me, my man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Pleasure.
Tell me, what is Slash for those listening, and why did you decide to start this company?
Yeah, Slash is a banking platform for small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on very high spend businesses. So we offer our customers a business checking account, a business savings account, and a very high cashback corporate credit card. I started the company in 2021. We'd raised $19 million in venture capital until very recently. Recently raised another round that we haven't announced yet, so won't be talking about that too much. But decided to start the business because I grew up in and around sneaker resellers who were in desperate need of better banking products. So developed a solution that worked very, very well for that niche. And we've expanded concentrically out of serving sneaker resellers to working now very heavily with affiliates, ecom brands, agency account providers, and tons of people in just the performance marketing space. So thanks for having me on.
What was the problem you solved for sneaker resellers? Like, what was the existing problem, and then what was the solution you initially created?
Yeah, absolutely. So are you familiar with virtual cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, virtual credit card or virtual debit card product is a product that essentially allows you to create many virtual numbers that draw down from one balance. So the most traditional use case of virtual credit cards are, let's say you're a business owner, you have 20 employees, and you want to give each one of those employees a card so they go out and they buy a software subscription, and then you can just shut that off whenever you want, and they don't have access to your main card. It's like AMEX employee cards.
Right.
These virtual card products were traditionally only accessible to large incorporated businesses that were creditworthy. Like, there was no virtual debit card product. And so most sneaker resellers, they're between 17 and 22 years old, oftentimes don't have an LLC, have very limited, credit history. And so they find it hard to sign up for these sorts of products that offer virtual cards. And so why did sneaker resellers need virtual cards? Because the places where they're buying inventory, it's like Nike, like Yeezy Supply, etc. They typically raffle their inventory off, and so if you have one card, and yet you can enter this raffle once. But if you have multiple virtual cards, you can enter this raffle many times. So it was like this weird, niche-y, kind of strange use case that we started with. But because we were able to get a product that was in the hands of these very big businesses, in the hands of these, solo entrepreneurs, we were able to just grow really quickly, pitch investors on a much broader vision around building better banking products for all kinds of entrepreneurs, not just the ones in this space. And we've been very successful in expanding away from that niche into bigger and better pastures like affiliate marketing and e-commerce and agency account providers.
What did you do before this?
I dropped out of college to start this company. Yeah, so I was at Stanford. I did a couple years of computer science there. Pandemic hit, hated doing online school, convinced a really good friend of mine, the best developer I knew, to take some time off and work on Slash with me. And we actually cycled through many different ideas one or two ideas before landing on virtual cards for sneaker resellers. And because that had such explosive product market fit, I felt like I had lightning in a bottle. I was enjoying running my business more than I was enjoying being in college. And I really liked kind of our customers. I love being around other business owners. And so decided it was my time to do what I had always wanted to do, which was start a company. So I've been fortunate enough that it's been mostly open to the right since the beginning. And yeah, grateful to be on this journey.
It's awesome, man. So let's talk about specific use cases for affiliates, drop shippers, guys buying media. Give me the elevator pitch of exactly why they should be using Slash.
Yeah. Affiliates, e-commerce businesses, and many of these others that you mentioned, they typically use American Express, right? American Express, amazing brand, amazing product in every regard. The one problem they have is if you are spending $100,000, $500,000, million, $2 million, $5 million per month, you're going to accumulate millions and millions of points. And so you're going to have no way of actually like using those points. You physically can't travel enough. And so I recommend most dropshippers, most e-commerce brands move to a cashback card. So there's other we're not the only cashback cards, but I think that in general, these high spend businesses in our space are better off working with a cashback card and not with a points card. And then where we come in is most cashback cards cap out at 2%. That's where we start. So a business that comes to Slash, you know, at the very minimum, you're getting 2%. And then what we do is we have case by case contracts where we look at your spending volume, and then based on certain milestones, we can go much higher than that. So yeah, that's the pitch. Highest rewards cards for very, very high spend, very, very high spenders. There's a bunch of obviously other ancillary features. We have an amazing UI. You know, you can accept payments in cryptocurrency straight into your Slash accounts. For agencies specifically, we have a product that lets you seamlessly manage your prepayments from all your different customers. But for the general dropshipper, affiliate, ecom brand owner, we are the best place to get the best rewards.
So more or less, once I cap out, let's say I'm spending $500,000 or even like $100K a month.
Yeah.
At some point in the year, whether it's month 1 or month 6, I'm going to cap out my maximization on like 4x or 3x returns. So at this point, it makes sense to just flip over to using Slash. I get a credit line, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then off of that, I generate the VCCs, and then I plug those in, and that's how I run my spend.
Yep, into all your different Facebook accounts. So you're totally right. Like the AMEX goal at first, they'll give for your first 150K, you know, they'll give you 4x points. But most big brands, like they're spending like considerably more than that. So it makes sense to, once you cap that out, switch over to an offer like ours, and just maximize the rewards you get on all your media spend.
And I'm also assuming, I haven't used the product yet. I want to after this.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you on.
With when you generate VCCs, you could probably assign like limits and expiration dates as well.
Exactly.
Which comes down to risk, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say for most of our customers in this space, 90% of their spend is going to be on ads. It's going to be on, you know, Meta, TikTok, Taboola, like all these different platforms. But, you know, our platform also makes it extremely easy for you to issue cards and lock them to a particular merchant. So let's say you're paying your Slack subscription. You don't want Slack to charge you more than $20 a month. You can set like a $20 a month limit. And so there's all these like nice quality of life features that in the aggregate make Slash more pleasant to use than an American Express. But you had asked for the elevator pitch before, and I would say that it's for the bulk of your spend, you'll get better rewards.
Are you able to, as you scale up, as you plug this into a bigger operation or you scale your operation, are you able to assign additional user access with restricted permissions or things like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we first of all are integrated into every major accounting platform. And then, yeah, you can also, you know, add users as accountants, add users as card holders. So these are just like employees that you want to assign a couple cards to. And then they can only see, you know, the cards that are assigned to them. But then the other point that I was going to make is actually our big into this market has been through the agencies. So right now, you know, there's a lot of affiliates that use us directly and are just using our cards to buy all their ads, to drive all their traffic. But a lot of the agencies, you know, Blink Digital, others, they essentially use us because it's very easy for them to create a distinct card for each one of the affiliates, each one of the brands that they work with, and manage like all their balances in the back end through our software. So there's one other thing which I was going to say, which is, yeah, I mean, if you're an affiliate and you have multiple Facebook accounts, or if you have multiple TikTok accounts, it's also a great idea to assign a unique, different card to every single one to ensure utmost stability. If for whatever reason, you know, one of your accounts goes down because you ran creative that you shouldn't have, or you scaled too quickly, you don't want to have that same card on a different account. And so having VCCs through Slash definitely helps with that, and ensuring you have a stable setup all throughout.
How's underwriting typically work? Like, do you see people getting more credit than they would expect, less credit than they would expect, at least to start?
I would say that's not our selling point. Is not that we underwrite way more aggressively than anyone else.
But if I'm moving my spend over from AMEX, for maybe I can start up somewhere between $500,000 to $700K.
Yeah.
and I need that because I get paid every 2 weeks or every month, for example, for my buyers.
Yeah.
How would it compare if I wanted to transition over to using Slash?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would say is you should definitely go on our website, joinslash.com, get in touch with one of our revs, and then we'll look at your financials. We'll look at your bank account data. We'll look at your payment cadence, your accounts receivable, a bunch of data to get you the best credit possible. I think at best it caps out at 2x, like roughly 1x monthly revenue is where we see a lot of the limits come out. Yeah, exactly. But obviously that's not. It's not going to anyone watching this. Like, it's not
a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. Like,
but you've seen this can be possible.
Exactly. And we have a lot of flexibility. So
it's not like if I wanted to open a Chase card, like depending on my business credit history, my limit's going to be maybe like 50K or 100K or 150K to start. Whereas I still got that AMEX with the big juicy $500,000. Like
exactly. I'd say like, and we offer a lot of flexibility. So for some customers, they have very big balance sheets. Like they don't necessarily need tons of credit. So we just have them on like a pre-funded setup. And when you're on that pre-funded setup, that's when, you can rebate maximize. And then for the people that, want more credit, then this I guess like Sauce is in our network of lenders. So we work with lots of other fintech companies under the hood. That essentially will look at your business, at your financials, and then we'll match you with whoever kind of like gives you the best offer. So there's offers. So there's options for both.
So I guess as an example, I could toss $500,000 in. That's my limit.
Yeah.
But then I'd also be earning a higher cashback right out the gate.
Exactly.
Cool.
And so yeah, if you have really good terms from your buyers, then I think it totally makes sense to do that. Like when you're picking a card, you really have to choose between one of two things. Like you're either rebate maximizing, or you're credit maximizing. And so depends where you are. We can serve businesses on both ends of the
spectrum. You can maximize on both.
Well, no, you can't definitely maximize on both. Like if you're maximizing on one, you're compromising on the other.
Right.
Vice versa.
I got you. Cool. What about when it comes to risk? As far as you've probably heard this story, affiliate, maybe their business manager gets hacked.
Yeah.
Or an ad account gets re-enabled that they don't have access to and they can't stop the spend.
Yeah.
With AMEX, I know from personal experience of this happening, someone spent like 50K in 2 minutes or 22 hours on one of my ad accounts because they worked their way into my BM through a back door. AMEX had my back on that. I reported it as fraud, no questions asked. I got the money back.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
There have been cases of that. There have been cases of that.
That's not your fault. That is 100% Facebook's in this example, just so we're clear.
Yeah. No, there have been cases of that, and we've responded for our customers. The cards that we issue are Visa cards, and so we operate generally under the Visa zero liability, program. Obviously, we'll work. I would say that the benefit that we have is, yes, we'll have your back, but because we also understand your industry, like we have people inside the company that can help you work even with Meta Direct.
Build a case.
Build a case, and then most of the time, like obviously Meta deals with this all the time, so you can work to actually get the money directly back from them. So we'll respond, but then it's also in our interest to make it so that Meta responds after the fact as well. So we'll help you with that too, like our support team will.
You said there's other banking fires we maybe haven't touched on. What are some things that would be relevant to people that buy media or affiliates, drop shippers?
Yeah. I mean, I think something that's extremely relevant is for agencies specifically, if you work with customers that are abroad, so if you're a US-based agency and you have customers in Europe, you have customers in Asia, oftentimes they'll find it easier to pay you via crypto, to just like send you USDC, send you USDT, instead of sending you an international wire. And we have integrations with a couple partners that basically allow you to receive crypto straight into your Slash account. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily straight, but the way it actually works is, when you open your Slash account, you have an account number and you have a routing number, and then you have a list of wallet addresses, and then any crypto received to those wallet addresses will be automatically off-ramped into your Slash account. So if you're an agency,
like Wise, like a TransferWise account where you have multiple currencies more or less.
Exactly. I mean, you can't hold crypto and you can't hold other currencies other than USD, but it's almost like there's a bunch of crypto pointers to your Slash account, if that makes sense. So like, let's say this is your Slash account, it holds USD. Instead of you having to open a completely different, account at Coinbase and then get paid there, and then if you need it in USD, you have to like transfer it out. There's all these like wallet addresses that if they receive the crypto, they'll automatically send it to your Slash account. So for agencies that work with lots of customers internationally, or even we have the other way around too. So like, if you're a network and you have affiliates that, rather get paid in crypto, you don't have to set up a separate wallet. You don't have to sign up for an exchange. You can just send USD, and then we'll take care of actually like sending them like the crypto in the back end. So that's a pretty relevant feature. We literally just launched it in December, and we've had amazing reception. Like, we're processing like mid 8 figures in off ramps like every single month now. That's been really cool.
Anything else? Any other unique features that would separate you from the competition?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's so many. I think I'm trying to think of what order to talk about that. I mean, like, we have a high yield savings account too. So a lot of the customers we work with, they literally just keep a ton of money in their Chase business checking accounts, which gives them literally 0%. And so with Slash, you have your checking account, and then you have a savings account that pays you between, I think right now it's like between 1.5% and 2%. So it's not like, like 4 point something if you like kept it in the money market.
But it just sits there and
but it's better than leaving it in Chase where you're getting 0%. So that's also something that's pretty relevant. And then I would say we also have like great integrations into every single accounting platform. So your finance team will love us. Like, we have features that basically make it so that you can pre-categorize the coding of transactions inside of Slash before they get sent to your ERP. I don't know if I'm boring you with that.
No.
But let's say,
I get how important this is.
Yeah. Like, let's say you want to make it so that every single transaction on Facebook, automatically goes to a specific GL code, and every single transaction at Uber or this other set of merchants gets coded to a separate transaction GL code. Sorry. Or let's say you have like 3 different buying teams, right? And then you want to code the purchases that each of those buying teams makes in a different section in QuickBooks. You can make it so that certain virtual cards, all their transactions automatically post to one account. Other virtual cards, they post
for attribution, categorization.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes it very easy to, send detailed data based on the card that was used, based on the card group that was used, back to your accounting system. So your financing will really appreciate it.
Why do you believe you have the best option and product in the industry?
In what sense? I mean,
in general.
Yeah. Or for who specifically? Because I guess the pitch is different based on,
like, I mean, affiliates, media buyers, they're buying ads.
I mean, I think it's very straightforward. I think if you're a media buyer and you've spent over $150,000 on your gold, like, we'll be the next best offer. Go to joinslash.com and we'll get you better cash back than wherever else, whatever else you're using. So I think that's key.
Maximizing
the rewards. I think I don't want to overcomplicate it and talk about all these other features, because
I think the low end, they're more valuable. The low media buyers is obvious, right?
Exactly.
It's a return.
Super obvious. And then once you're in the product, you'll realize how much easier it is to use in Chase. Like, if you're sending a wire from your Slash accounts, like, we have tons of features that let you route approvals. If an employee wants to queue up a wire and then you want to make it so that you approve it.
Like, you do wires as well.
Yeah, we do outgoing wires. So basically with us, you get a full-fledged,
it's a bank,
business checking account. Yeah. You literally have business checking account, business savings account, corporate credit card. So everything you can do with Chase, everything you can do with Wells Fargo, you can do it with Slash.
What about here's a good question, for guys outside the US, if they're not Americans and they have non-US companies, can they still customize the platform?
We actually have an incorporation product. So right now we can only onboard US LLCs, corps, and partnerships, but we have a product that basically at cost, we don't make anything from it. Like, we'll create a US LLC or C Corp or whatever you want to create for you very quickly. And then once you have that created, you can sign up for a Slash account. So we can't onboard foreign entities yet. We're hoping we will be able to soon.
So someone is listening that's doing a lot of volume in media spend in Europe or Asia, they would need to get ITIN.
Exactly. Or an EIN. They don't have to get a personal ITIN. Like, you can sign up for a US LLC, even if you're not American. So we'll help you get your EIN. We'll help you get incorporated. So if you're a European media buyer, if you're an Asian media buyer, and the card options that you have access to are very limited, then just come to us. We'll help you incorporate, create a US company, and then you'll get access to a best-in-class banking product.
But they'll have a challenge when it comes to credit approval with underwriters. So they'll have to pre-fund and secure the debt.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So guys that have cash that want to get a percentage back, you'll actually get a higher percentage if you secure it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You dump $500,000 into it, that's your credit line, and your cash sits there, but you get the cash back in the meantime.
Yep. Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
Nothing other than thank you so much for having me, and you should totally reach out to our team at joinslash.com, and we'll be able to speak in much more detail about what makes us special there, and we'll connect you to the most relevant person. Thanks so much again.
Cool. No worries, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks, man.
Appreciate it.